Hi, everybody. Welcome to Moving Forward with Audrey. I am Audrey, and this is Moving Forward with Audrey. I have to say that I had a little bit of getting this podcast started was a little bit weird at first because I clicked the circle that means to video and it didn't do anything, and I did it several times over. Discovered I could take a photo. You all probably knew that, and maybe I did, and now, presumably, hopefully, we are videoing. Yesterday and today is the day of the full moon, the 6th and 7th of October, which is at 14 and change Aries. I paid particular attention to that since my ascendant is 13 Aries. Yes, I am born under the sun sign of Cancer. I nonetheless do have an Aries ascendant in Western astrology. So today we are going to discuss what reality do you choose? What reality do you choose? I thought I was going to say something else, but this is what came out of my mouth. So this is what we shall talk about. And as you may know, and if you don't, let me inform you, there is a huge amount of action happening in the skies, in the heavens, in the cosmos. Astrology is busy, 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 busy right now. Shifts and changes. We will come to that. So, our what reality do you choose shall be our topic for discussion. Pay attention, people. You can learn and will learn a lot and shift a lot and grow a lot as you stay with us. And there are other wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Okay, hair in my eye. Ugh. Okay, so affirmation. I choose the reality where I can be my best self. I choose the reality where I can live as my best self. I choose the reality where I can live as my best self. So I'm laughing as I say that because everyone's best self is something different. And you may mean one thing when you say best self, and 20 minutes later you may mean something else. So it'll be very interesting to see what this is. What is your best self? My best self is that where certain basic needs have been taken care of. I have either created it, the world has given it, or whatever it is that the basic needs, are taken care of, and I can reach out and do further things. That would mean for any of us, we have clean water to drink, which could be a big challenge these days, by the way. Most water is not clean. It is not, never mind with all the nanoplastics. Dangerous. And any other toxicities that might be there. So you might think, yeah, easy. No. So part of basic needs, basic, is healthful, delicious food to eat. Now, do I think most people eat healthful, delicious food? No, I don't. I look and see. Not everyone. I'm not in everyone's house. That is so far from what I am. And right now, I'm not in the United States. I'm in Costa Rica. And people tend to eat nicely, but also the food that's sold on the street, fried stuff. Pretty much that is it. And this is Costa Rica, donde hay muchas comida muy, 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 muy buena, where there's so much good food. Fruit, vegetables, pipa, which is coconut water in the pod, which I drink a lot of. I love that stuff. And no, you cannot get it in a container. You cannot get it in a jar. You cannot get it in a can. It is not the same. I don't care what any of that says. It is very different, and it will not give you the same thing that you will get if you get actually fresh, hopefully organic pipa, that's what it's called, coconut milk in the actual container. And it will help clean you out, and you can make delicious food with it. I make mustard. Oh, that is so good. And I drink it and use it for smoothies. Actually, not so much smoothies, protein drinks, any of that. So, what else is needed? Some kind of shelter, whatever that might be. Everybody's need is different. Some people have mixed up need and want and think they can't live unless they're in some kind of fancy schmancy place. Well, that might be nice. It's not a need. That's an ego desire or a conditioned desire or a thought that, oh no, I couldn't do that. Or if you think you're above other people, so you think you need a special kind of place, that's not need, that's an ego. That's a want. And a want also indicates a lack. Clothing, some kind of clothing. It is not a wise idea to run around naked. I live where mosquitoes exist. Not a good idea. Not every minute, thank goodness. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. And do I recommend that people run around naked everywhere? No. We are socialized differently. Differently. I can get into all ways of speaking on that, but no. And how do you run around? Bare feet? I mean, really? On the street with little rocks and things and possibly doggy poo? No. So, some kind of water, food, clean air. I forgot to say that. That's number one, clean air, clean water, clean food, holistic food, not fried only garbage, whatnot. Clothing. I was looking for an outfit a while ago and I could find nothing made of cotton. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I got something, I believe it was linen or some kind of mixture. Could not find any cotton anywhere. It's very pretty. I wanted cotton. Insofar as I know, that's one of the best materials for us to have. It's natural, um, and more or less. And then the next thing for us is a domicile, someplace to live. Whether you live in a cave, whether you live under trees, whether you live in a house, whether you live in a moving vehicle, whatever that might be, but something that suits your needs. Does that mean it has to be a 12-room, 3-story building? No, it doesn't. Not if it's just for you. If you're taking care of a slew of people, maybe. Can it be done more simply? Yes, as long as all the running water, appropriate electricity, we have to flush toilets, water, any of these so called necessities, which to me are. And yes, I am from the United States. And do I think most people know how to live simply in the States? No, I do not. I think they haven't the faintest idea. I know when I was living and staying in Africa some couple of years ago, I learned a much more simpler way to live. I, who am barely 5 feet, I'm shorter than that, can lie in most bathtubs very comfortably. Not a bathtub, not even a shower. Water from the river in bowls. So I learned how to get clean, and I mean clean, pouring water into a smaller bowl, soaping myself up, and then rinsing myself with the water and clean. And I saw people didn't have a clue, not the Africans, they know how to do this. But people who were visiting from wherever, no clue, no idea, and their body smell, okay? So we can learn how to do this, provided we have the basic resources. And that is the issue on the planet now. Most of the quote unquote natural resources have become unnatural. So, first is having some of those basic needs. Now, so what life do you choose? What reality are you choosing? I'm going to say go for simple. You can have fancy stuff. I go to some very beautiful, fancy restaurants here in Costa Rica, right on the beach. Absolutely stunning. Since I am mostly raw vegan, and that is not yet coming here, I'm glad to get any kind of decent raw salad. And is it as fancy as I would make? No, it's not. Generally not. They don't do that. Some do. But on the whole, meh. But it's still very good. Okay, and you can get fancy, fancy, or not so fancy. So bringing this all in, so that is just some basic necessities. Do I think that I've always thought since I'm little that some of the very basic necessities, especially in the United States, which always had ample money, right now I am not allowed to discuss politics. The guides don't want me to. So I'm just going to say, because of the way some people mismanage money, that's not the case right now in the United States. Might it again become that? Yes, it will. Right this moment, and I am doing this podcast on October 7th, 2025. Full moon at 14 and change Aries, if you want to hunt up where we are. So, affirmation is I choose to live the best life for myself, and I do. You look and choose for yourself and start analyzing what is the best life for you. Can you breathe? Do you do some kind of exercise? Do you walk? Do you jump? Do you move? Do you do calisthenics? What do you do? Do you do yoga? I've been a little on off with my practice. What do you do? Do you do anything? Do you move your hand? Uh, do you do, what do you call that? Martial arts. A lot of people like that. Find something that works for you and do it regularly. Are you doing work that you love? If you don't work anymore, if you feel you're beyond that, are you living a life that feels like you're receiving and contributing? What are you doing? How do you use your mind? Do you use your mind? Do you allow yourself to grow and evolve? Do you stay stuck in attitudes you might have had 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago? I could say that. 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Are they still valid? Do they work in today's world? Where, according to certain things I've read, the planet is drying out. I'm not sure that's true or not, but some of the continents are. In the meanwhile, we've got water hidden underneath the mantle of the earth. So it's not that we don't have water, it's how do we get to it? As well as, so what else? Do you have friends? Do you have family? What's your social life like? You don't have to run around all over the place. You can be quiet. There are times I simply need quiet time. And there's other times I choose to be out and about. And are you creating whatever is good for you in that area? Do that. That's part of creating a good life. Now, in terms of, okay, so I did the affirmation breathing technique. I'm still keeping them very simple. My hand is on my heart. Okay, there it is. I'm not going to move the laptop because I have ruined the podcast before doing that. So, nip. So, we're going to breathe for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, and exhale for a count of 5 or 6. And that is going to slow your breathing, help get you centered, align your heart brain with your head brain, and start aligning yourself with the Earth's resonance frequency. Is that important? Yes, it is. If you choose to be healthy and well and have some version of longevity, it is important. If you don't care, then don't care. That's up to you. I care, and most of the people I speak with care. So if you care, sit comfortably. You can have water near you. I always do. And if I don't, I get it. Take your shoes off. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Inhale, exhale, 2, Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause and notice how you feel. These may seem to be very simple things to do on this podcast. However, this can help ensure that you'll actually do them. I can give you vagus, from the vagus nerve, VAGAS, breathing techniques. Do I think you'll do them? Probably not. This is simpler and very effective. And when you're breathing and you're more centered and balanced within and at peace within, without your mind going and all of that kind of stuff, then you can begin to take other steps. So I've thought about, I'm an artist and I now have a gallery, but I'm not set up to do the podcast there. And there's no way that I can think of that I can take the paintings on the wall. I'm not putting them here. They're in the gallery. So I'll show you some frequency stones. But yes, I have paintings. Look. Of course, if you don't like colorful stuff, this could come as a surprise. That's paint. The color and the rocks. The colors will enliven you, and the rocks will help ground you. And that is important now, because being grounded and stable, plus raising your frequency higher, 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 is what's called for. We are shifting frequencies on the earth at this time, absolutely. And things are not linear anymore. They have not been linear in a while, especially once we discovered the quantum realm. We have now embraced it. We are living it. And this is only the beginning. So, astrologically now, I am not going into each and everything that is happening. It's huge. We have comets, we have asteroids, we have eclipses, and we just, right today, are having a full moon. And it's one thing after another, and certain things at the same time. This is the first time in thousands of years, literally, that some of these things have happened. And there have been, I don't do the research, but I do watch other people, and they cite the research. They don't even have stats on when some of the amount of changes that are happening now has been happening. So many of us, and I am one of them, feel that our species, human beings, are shifting into our next level, whether you call it instead of just Homo sapiens, which is mainly your mind thinking, Homo galactica, Homo luminous, Homo beyond. I definitely feel we're shifting and changing. I could feel it inside myself sometimes. And this is no drugs, no nothing, enough sleep. When I haven't had enough sleep, I definitely can get lightheaded and a little dizzy, that is for sure. If I've had too little sleep for a couple days, we are shifting. There are things people are calling ascension symptoms, which can sometimes be dizziness or a little bit of lightheadedness, as well as changes in the way one eats or sleeps. By the way, lighten up your food. This is not the time to eat heavily. I have to say I'm eating a little more than usual, which is not what I recommend. I make stuff out of chocolate, sweeten it with dates, and when I do have pipa, I use that instead of water, and it is so good. OMG, it is delicious. So the recipes are in my book, Vim Vigor Vitality Vegan, VVVV. That is on the website. What is the website? Audrey Now, AudryeNow.com. This is the time to shift. So because we kind of help choose whatever timeline, reality, we are moving into and going. And if you go, I don't know how to do it, your life, how you live, how you think, whether you have processed your feelings or you're constantly in a rage, if you're walking around forever in a depression, you are creating the timeline you shall be on. I had a friend some years ago who said when people moan and whine, that's a prayer for disaster. You could moan and whine a little, give yourself time and space. This is my moaning and whining time. I'm giving it 15 minutes. Do it. Send it all to the Creator, however you do that. Put it in light. Put it in a light bubble. I'm chewing like that. Put it within yourself. Go to the bathroom and see that you're letting it go. There's all kind of ways, people. And does it work? Yes. Do we need shifts and changes? Most of us do. I do not think most of us have to go through horrible things, but then I've been through yucky stuff. And so I know what it feels like. It isn't like I need to feel it again. BTDT, been there, done that. So with just even this thing with the full moon, Aries, and it's the moon, emotions, family, mother, issues with mother, possibly. Aries can be combative. It also can be the initiator. It's energy. It's moving forward with Audrey. It's taking steps. And then it's helpful to have other aspects in your chart or with other people to help you move and take the next step so something gets completed and not just starting and starting and starting and starting and starting. That is only one thing happening now. We have Jupiter is, I love this, Jupiter's in Cancer. I like that. It's my sign. And it's at home there. So it's a time where family and love and taking care of, it's good to do that now. If you have unfinished business, if there's still someone you're angry with or they're angry with you, this is a good time to start creating peace. And in terms of, I used to think you had to work through every single issue. You can. Or you can look at something and decide and ask, is that something that is important for me that I require for my onward journey? And if it is, keep it. If it isn't, choose to release it. If you know how to release thoughts, belief systems, energy frequencies, things like that, do it. Whether you do Ho'oponopono, whether you do, what do you call that? Recapitulation. I used to teach various practices in recapitulation. You can do any of that. any of that, and allow what is not there for you to leave. If you know how to manage your energy and your energy is sufficiently clear, and we'll all have the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs. Right now, that is still life on earth. We're not yet flitting around. And I don't want to just flit around. I like running around. And I like being near the beach. And I like listening to music. And I like dancing. I don't like cigarettes near me or tobacco. That's a no. So I walk away. I absolutely do not put up with it. I leave. And I do. I will leave. Unless it's my event, in which case there won't be any tobacco, and that's that. And see what works for you. You'll know when things are going well, when you'll have a lot of synchronicity. Things will come together in a seemingly magical way. It's absolutely beautiful. You'll be walking along the street and you'll see somebody and they'll see you, and someone will say hello, and you get to know each other because the vibes were right, and that person can become one of your best friends. That happened for me, what, a month and a half ago. I was walking along and I saw this woman. She saw me. We said hi. She ends up being a vegan chef, raw vegan, no less. And that's what I mainly am. And she's an artist, as am I. And is she a good artist? Wow, I love her work. And she also loves mine. And she's smart and she's aware. So, yes, we are friends and becoming more so, and learning and learning and learning. Allow that. Give space for that. If you have a belief system that nothing like that is possible, if your belief system is miracles can't happen, they will not happen for you because that is your belief system. And the universe will give you what you ask for, and that's what you're asking for by your behavior and thoughts. So, which reality do you choose? What do you think? What do you do? How do you feel? How do you treat yourself for real? How do you treat others? What do you do when you're here? Do you acknowledge when you're like that? Please do so. We're living at a very magical time. And I know there's yuck going on. Believe me, I know. And for me, and to see that, some of it is so that our species sees enough of that and goes, done with that, complete. That's the old paradigm. We're complete and not doing that anymore. And do I feel that's happening and going to happen? I do. I do. Both where the planets are, our mentality growing and changing, and for me, for sure, done. And that's the case with many people. Pluto in Aquarius, yes. None of that is required anymore. And we don't need to go down at the end of this 5,200 year cycle. We can keep going up. We can flitter a little and keep going up. That is the energy now. So allow yourself to be part of it. Does that mean shifting? Yes, all of us. How many of us know how to live in a reality that is shifting and isn't so stable and hard? It's new for a lot of us. So that's something new to learn. Yay! So many blessings to you. I appreciate very much your being with us. Know you're part of the huge amount of people choosing to grow. I had once started my own group. At the moment, I am not doing that. I am painting. And if you'd like any, definitely email me, audreynow, AudryeNow.com. This podcast is youtube.com/slash the little at sign moving forward now 22. And be grateful that you're alive, that you can think, that you can see, that you can feel, that you can eat, whatever it might be for you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, like this. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.